In this critique prep assignment, we will be discussing the film 50 First Dates. The film depicted an accurate portrayal of the individual who suffers from intrograde amnesia. Although the film was held some false portrayals in some of its details, in the film they explained that the main character, Lucy, who suffers from amnesia, is explained that she suffers from a type of short-term memory loss. She is more likely showing signs of those who suffer from intrograde amnesia. This type of amnesia gives individuals a sense of stuck in time since they are unable to create new long-term memories. The main theme of the 51st Dates film is the type of brain injury that causes amnesia. So in the film, the type of amnesia is explained as Goldfield syndrome, a type of short-term memory loss. And for the sole purpose of the movie's entertainment, it is explained as short-term memory loss when the character Lucy suffers from the ability to learn long-term memories. Throughout the film, Lucy lives her day-to-day life as she is stuck in time from the type of accident she endured. In the article, in Dwartz and his colleagues' article that they studied, examined the results whether patients who suffered from amnesia were capable of learning new material. During the study, the data collected showed that patients that had post-learned material interfered recently learned material in intrograde amnesia individuals. Within this article, it explains that patients who recently learned material in intrograde amnesia, within the article, it explains that patients who suffer from these types of amnesia can consolidate new memories, but they are unable to provide sufficient ability to identify unless cues were provided. As the main character Lucy suffers from amnesia, she lacked the ability to remember the man who tried to woo her, Henry. Subconsciously, she knew or she would have dreams about him, but could not recollect why or who he was. In Baxendale's study, it examined that amnesia plays a popular role in cinematic themes, in films to dramatize the film's purposes. This article expresses the universal myths that films use for cinematic purpose that relate little to real-life amnesic individuals. There are many individuals that surround neurological disabilities that filmmakers use for dramatic purposes. The myth of learning in movies do not affect the capability of learning, and although Lucy's memory that starts over for each day, Lucy was unable to remember Henry in her dreams, and she was able to continue her life as a teacher. Lastly, Mendoza and colleagues researched 2 groups of participants were studied to identify the differences in the brain's ability to sustain memory in post-hypnotic amnesia. These resulted in the differences in the brain between non- and post-hypnotic amnesia. It is considered that the possibility that circuits in the brain are more active during rest than during tasks. Individuals who participated in the study did a task where they were tested in which they were able to memorize the video that they watched. This related to the ability of Lucy's adaptive capability to learn and remember tasks such as art, movies, and teaching. The film 50 First Dates was brought to the attention of those who suffer from real effects of intrograde amnesia. The movie illustrates and glorifies yet devastating views for those who are diagnosed with the disease. For cinematic purposes, the film uses the term Goldfield syndrome as the condition that Lucy suffers from. There are times in the movie where it is mentioned that Lucy's loss in her memory was due to what is known as short-term memory loss. This is falsely used. Lucy had her memories before her accident, but was unable to retain long-term memories. Many scenes reveal how the suffering patient has to repeat her day-to-day life, unable to move forward, but her family does as well. In many cases, those who have amnesia do not have the realistic support of those that the film portrays.